Pippa. I'm a trainee solicitor at Lee Day. I'm about to qualify into the product liability and personal injury department. And I used to go to Warwick, so I did a 4-year European law degree there as my undergrad. So I think my first tip would be don't get disheartened. Don't get disheartened when you go to the law fair and everyone there is sort of a commercial law firm. There's lots of jobs in public interest and human rights law. We just, as the type of firms that we are, don't really have that much disposable income to go to every law fair up and down the country and give everyone a free mug. And we all got enough mugs anyway, really, from the other places. So I think it's important then to just don't get disheartened by it. Don't sit there and think, well, what do I want to do? Because I think you ultimately will know. And I think sort of then following on from that, my second point is that don't get bogged down with the idea of a training contract being this holy grail that everyone thinks it is. I think that training contracts are great if you can get one. It's great to have, what will be now the solicitor's qualifying exam, all of the stuff for that funded. It's brilliant if you can do it. But lots of the firms that do sort of more public interest and human rights work also don't fund it. And that's not great. It's not fun. It's not nice to not be able to just have that financial security. I personally worked as a paralegal and did my LPC part-time for 2 years, which wasn't very great for 2 years. And it was a lot of extra work. But it meant that I could get where I wanted to be, which was having the LPC. I think it might be a bit different now with this qualifying exam, but I think, that's something that you'd have to look into. So I think just don't get bogged down by trying to get a training contract. I think if you want to work in this area of law, then try and work in it. It doesn't matter how you work in it. You don't have to be a qualified solicitor. I worked as a paralegal for 3 years before I got my training contract. And I found that time to be really, really important. It was really useful to learn the skills of being a solicitor. And I think you can't discount that paralegal jobs might mean that you basically are doing the work of a solicitor and you're learning the ropes. And that's really invaluable. And I think another tip would be that you really need to try and sell yourself. And I think that so many people just don't sell themselves how they should. And it's not commercial awareness selling yourself. It's not, oh, look at me, I've done all of this, sell yourself. It's almost being a bit humble about what you've already done. I think sometimes, you try and get all this legal work experience. I think you can try and get, all of the sort of the cool sounding legal stuff, and you can get bogged down on not getting that. But I think you can get all of the skills that you need to be a good solicitor or a good lawyer from any sort of experience that you have in a working environment. Maybe as a manager of a shift at a bar, maybe, people have to come to you with complaints. There's lots of things that you can, pull out from that. Maybe you worked a job at the same time as doing university studies. Maybe that shows time management skills. And I think you just need to try and work out how actually things like that will make your CV stand out, because it will. Everyone's going to submit the CV that says I've got a law degree, or I'm working on a law degree and I've got this legal experience. But what else do you have? What sets you personally apart from that? Do you play hockey? Do you play squash? Do you play the piano? And what does that bring to you as a person? And I think, that brings a bit of personality to your CV, and that's what, can really stand out, especially amongst a big swathes of legal students. So I think really that's sort of my main advice about wanting to try and qualify as a solicitor. Don't get disheartened, keep trying. You've already got so many skills and you just need to work out how to frame that rightly. And don't give up and don't turn down any opportunity that you can find, because a foot in the door really is a foot in the door. And, if I hadn't have got my paralegal job at Lee Day, I definitely wouldn't have got my training contract here. But good luck.